guys, welcome back to TCI headquarters. Time for our preview and predictions video for Clemson at Miami. Not great memories from the bowl game at Miami. Great memories from the last time Clemson played a regular season game in Miami.
Last two times.
Tigers need a big win. Yes, definitely last two times. So Will and I'll be there Saturday night. Another nice night game. Hopefully we'll have some good things to talk about late into the night, early into Sunday morning. Will, let's go through our keys for the game. What do you think?
Wow. When you look at this game, Miami's defense, as we were talking before we came on, they're not as bad as they looked against North Carolina. I mean, North Carolina had a lot to do with that, let's be honest. Yeah, and so they gave up over 500 yards of offense, North Carolina. But they're really good. I like their front seven. Their front seven is really dynamic. They can pressure the quarterback. They're good at stopping the run. They're second in the ACC behind Clemson in run defense.
They didn't look as good against the run Saturday, though.
Well, that's because North Carolina was throwing the football well, and I think that opened up the run game. The run game, most of that came in the second half for North Carolina. So that kind of leads me to my key. I think the key for Clemson is to throw the football early in this game and set up the run, because I don't think Miami's going to allow Will Shipley and Phil Maffa to dictate the game. So I think Clemson's going to have to, like against Florida State, like they needed to do against Wake Forest, they just didn't execute. They're going to have to throw the football and be successful in the passing game early. So for me, that's going to be the key for Clemson in this game, is to be able to come out like they did against Florida State and like they did against Syracuse and pick up those key third downs through the air so they can start loosening up this Miami defense, a lot like North Carolina did. Now, there isn't the same kind of playmakers that North Carolina has on their offense, but Clemson's not bad. We've seen that. Tyler Brown, I think, has a chance to be as good as anybody. And you get Antonio Williams back this week. Yeah, Bo Collins, he's having a good year. So Clemson's got some weapons out there that they got to be wary of, and I think Clemson has a chance to maybe make some plays against that secondary.
Well, and I think, as you said, we need to see the Clemson offense that played against Florida State, not the Clemson offense that played against Wake Forest.
Correct.
If we see the Clemson offense that played against Wake Forest and the one that played against Duke, then Clemson could be in trouble.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
The one that was showing progress with Florida State and Syracuse, as you said, a big part of that was throwing the ball. That's key. A lot of this is going to be Cade. The good news is, you're not going to be playing in packed house in Miami, especially after the loss to North Carolina. Probably won't be quite as big a crowd there, so that helps. I'm going to go to the other side of the ball, though, Will. I think that, to me, the key to this game is going to be Clemson's defensive line. Miami's got some weapons, as you said in their video earlier this week. They've got some weapons at receiver. They've got a quarterback, if he plays, that can be pretty accurate. So I think it's going to be critical for Clemson's defensive line to get pressure on him, and pressure on him quick. We've seen them do that more this year than the last couple of years. Could be another big game for Xavier Thomas, big game for Rook, big game for T.J. Parker. Clemson defensive line just needs to get in there and rattle him. I don't think he's a quarterback that's going to beat you a lot running the football.
Nope, he's not.
So you don't, and obviously you always have to worry about containment, but not as much against him as you do some other quarterbacks.
He's not going to run for 70 yards on you.
No. So he's a guy you should be able to kind of peel your ears back and go attack. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously Clemson had the bye week. Miami had a tough game Saturday night, so coaching staffs had 2 weeks to prepare for this one. Sometimes coming out of the bye week, you see some things you haven't seen.
Sometimes it can be good.
Break some tendencies, so we'll see if that plays in Clemson's favor. I also think, kind of going back to another thing you said, I think it's important for Clemson to get out and play well early in this game. If Miami's hanging around or if Miami's ahead, even though the crowd's not big, it's going to be a much tougher opponent. Miami coming off of just a heartbreaking loss to Georgia Tech, and then going to North Carolina, kind of getting, taken to the woodshed a little bit. You wonder a little bit about their mentality. If Clemson comes out and jumps on them early, it's going to be a whole lot easier night than if Miami's getting some momentum and some confidence built up. Things would be a lot more difficult.
No, you hit it right on the head right there. I think that's very important for Clemson to do because right now there is self-doubt for Miami, and it's obvious. Lost a game they shouldn't have lost, and then they go and they were beat up by North Carolina. That game says 10 points, but it was worse than that, than the score indicated. They're really right now doubting themselves on offense and defense. You got it right. They got to get after Tyler Van Dyke. You saw North Carolina do that. They got after him a lot, got him off his spot, created some turnovers when they did that. I think Clemson has an opportunity there. Georgia Tech did the same thing. So I think you're going to see Clemson's defense come out and be very aggressive and try to get him off his spot and force him to make mistakes, which he's shown to do. This also is a very fumble-itis kind of team. They've put the ball on the ground a lot. So you're going to have opportunities there to create turnovers. So I'm with you. I think the defense needs to come out, be aggressive, really kind of get after the quarterback and don't let them feel settled into the game. And then offensively take advantage of the opportunities they may get and push them into the end zone. Because if you do that, then Miami's going to do, like you said, they're going to doubt themselves. They're going to be wondering, okay, what's going on with us? Why can't we do this? And when teams start doing that, they start stressing. And right now, Cristobal hasn't built the culture there yet up enough to overcome it. He's trying to build that. But right now, it's not there yet. And you can see that. You saw that in the North Carolina game this past week. They're not there yet, and Clemson's got to take advantage of that right now while they can.
And we'll see if they're as close as people thought they were. They lose 3 in a row, all of a sudden that culture's a lot different.
Right.
All right, time for, if you guys bet on my prediction last week, y'all lost a lot of money.
If you bet on any of our predictions.
So, Will, we're going to give you another try.
Bet on Vegas' prediction, you lost money.
What's your score prediction for this week?
Well, I think the line is, 4.5 or something like that in Clemson's favor. I think that's right. I have to look again to see. And as I look at this game, it's kind of Miami's defense is pretty good. Like I said, I really believe their front sevens is good as anybody's Clemson's going to see all year long. And they're going to get some issues. Miami can run the football if they want to on the other side. Now Clemson's been good at stopping the run. So that war of attrition in the middle of the offensive defensive line is going to be huge in this game. And I think because of that, it's going to keep it a low score. I think it can be very few possessions. Most games get 12 to 13 possessions. I think you're looking at maybe 10 to 11 possession kind of game for each team in this one. I'm going to go ahead and keep it low scoring. I'm going to say, and this means Robert's not going to be comfortable on the sidelines, but I'm going to say Clemson 21, Miami 17.
21-17, yeah. Well, they didn't quite score the 59 that I predicted
No.
last week. Just about 42 points short. So
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'm going to lower my offensive expectations. I had bought into the offense is getting better scenario and thought we would just continue to see the progress. We didn't. Hopefully over the bye week they've corrected some things. They've got to quit turning the daggone ball over. You ought to be able to do a handoff to your running back without fumbling. At least that one didn't go for 7 or 6.
Or set up 6.
I'm going to go for set up 6. They can't do that this week. If they have the turnovers, they're going to be in trouble. I'm going to think Clemson wins. I'm going to go a little bit higher than you will. I'm going to go not much higher. I'm going to say Clemson 27, Miami 21.
Okay.
Something like that. Same
About 2 points higher.
Yeah,
same ballpark. Close game. We both thinking close game.
Be glad to get a win. Hopefully that means with us both predicting the close game, this will be the game where Clemson puts it together on both sides of the ball for 4 quarters. And we have a little comfortable second half on the sidelines, and we will both be there. I'm actually headed down on early. We'll tell you which day because we're going to run this video a little later in the week. I'm not going to give that out, but we'll both be down there. Bart's coming down, so we'll have some awesome pictures and have everything covered for you guys from down there in South Florida. And hopefully we're driving back up the road, Will, Sunday with a 5-2 record.
Hope so.
Getting ready to go to NC State and finish up the ACC road schedule. So we'll see. Go ahead. Yes.
I was going to say, by the way, we're going to get to go see one of our old student workers, Emily Smar, who's down there, works down at the...
Giving Emily a shout out.
Yeah, giving Emily a shout out. She works one of the newspapers down there in South Florida and does a great job, and we're proud of her. And so if y'all look up Emily, you can
Emily's
see.
buying lunch, right?
Emily's buying lunch for her. She doesn't know that yet,
Post
but
or
she's
whatever.
buying lunch. She watches this video, she'll
Emily
see.
watched the video, you know, we won't take you anywhere too fancy, coconuts or something like that down in Fort Lauderdale. Have a good time. No, we're just kidding.
Bart does drink a lot, though, Emily, so you have to pay for his beer tab.
I'll but hopefully it's a fun weekend. Not always great to go down to South Florida. Hopefully it's a good trip and come back and start to build some momentum towards a good finish. And stay tuned. Sunday, Monday, we'll have his updated ACC. How does Clemson get in the championship? Hopefully with a win. If we probably won't run that if they lose because pretty much know the answer.
We know the answer by
With a
then.
win, we'll keep rolling that. So let's
Right.
hope we're doing that this week. But stay tuned to our coverage all weekend long. We'll have everything covered for you live from South Florida. Stay tuned to Clemson Insider for the most complete coverage of Clemson athletics.